Let's go for a ride. Tustin, California. So we're actually just entering sort of the Tustin Legacy, although I guess technically we're still in Santa Ana, but you probably saw that sign that said Tustin Legacy. So we're going to show you Tustin, not all of Tustin, but we're going to show you why Tustin is a very interesting city, because it has new construction, it has very old historic buildings, and
for Orange County standards.
And then it also has, it kind of is just like master planned Irvine, you know, similar section of Tustin. You can get a lot of different stuff in Tustin. So we're going to show you why Tustin is an interesting and unique city. And we actually have a tour, which I will link to at the end, where we get more into the nitty-gritty about what makes Tustin such an interesting city.
Yeah, and Tustin's actually really conveniently located. I mean, again, like you see these roads, right? I mean, these are really wide roads. It's like, what, almost like 10 lanes across, basically. So it's almost like a freeway in and of itself. And this is Red Hill, and there's tons of these kind of roads that, like, feed Tustin, you know, one way or the other. And plus, it's also, like, a lot of freeways go through here or right next to here. And so for a town of about 80,000 people, it's actually surprisingly, you know, varied. There's a lot, again, like you were mentioning, there's old, there's brand new, and there's stuff in between. And like the brand new stuff is what we're driving through right now. So this is Tustin Legacy, and it's rare to find a pretty large project of development in Orange County because it's already built out. So what's interesting about here is that it's not, it's actually like, this is a decommissioned Marine base. And so this was decommissioned back in the 1990s. And so here there's just lots of new development that's either happened, so that's really recent, or is ongoing as we speak. Obviously, as you can see from all the fencing here, so a bit of this is ongoing, of course. So before we continue, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Sean Dezahd.
And I'm Courtney Dezahd, and we are licensed real estate agents here in the beautiful state of California.
And if you're watching this channel, you might be thinking, wow, Sean, I love Orange County. I love the beautiful blue skies. I love the impeccable weather. The problem is that I'm not local. I may be even out of state. I may be even out of the country, so I don't know what to do. I totally get that. That's when to reach out to us so we can have that conversation, really get a sense of what you're looking for, and be your boots on the ground. We can do like tours of just not only the properties, but the neighborhoods as well, to really give you a good sense of what's out there. So when you do come out here, your time is spent super efficiently. So what you want to do is when you give us a call or shoot us a text.
Yes, that number is a cell phone, so you can call us or text us, or you can use WhatsApp if you're outside the country. But what's interesting about the super new stuff is that it tends to be very vertical, so that you are sort of giving up the yard for the more newer construction. So that's sort of a give and take for sure.
Yeah, and as you can see, as what we're driving to, this is the old.
Yeah.
This is like one of the blimp hangars that, you know, that Tustin had. This is actually, a lot of people will mention that, you know, way back when, they would only be able to see that from the distance, right? Like that's how low, you know, like either there's no development, like it was all land, or very, like, you know, one-story houses or whatever. So you could see this from miles away. And now obviously it's covered up. And actually there used to be two. Sadly, one burned down a few months back, and again, it is what it is, right? That's just how it is what it is. But like, what I also like about Tustin, it has not one but two Costco's here. So there's one at the district in Tustin. This is a nice little shopping center that's right here. You have a bunch of different stores and restaurants, and of course, most importantly, a Costco. And also, as we go farther down, there's actually another Costco in one of those kind of like 1990s type of development at Tustin Ranch. And it's amazing to see how much, again, has been developed here, because again, we don't have too many of these like large developments taking place in Orange County, especially not in a centrally located area. You do have stuff like more on the outskirts, like Rancho Mission Viejo is one that's pretty popular. That again, but it's just land that was just not developed forever until just recently. But it's rare to find actually large kind of construction projects happening in the middle of stuff. So you have here, as well as Great Park in Irvine, that offer that. And again, both of those were decommissioned Marine bases that took place.
Yeah, so that it's centrally located new construction. Just to show really quickly here, these is kind of showing you the vertical style of a lot of the newer construction. So this is an example of it. And then we'll show you another housing tract that's more traditional, that's newer construction.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like Sean was saying, the fact that it's centrally located new construction is very rare for Orange County. You
Mm-hmm.
really only have this and then the Great Park in Irvine, which we've also done tours of that. So, and then if you are in Tustin, it's part of the Tustin Unified School District. It's a very highly ranked school district, and it has also a newer school, a magnet school that's quite popular. I don't think that has any rankings yet because it's so new, but
It's like STEM related, right?
yeah, it's a STEM school. I think it's 7th through 12th grade, actually. So that's really popular. So yeah, you have some really highly ranked schools, some really good options if you are in the Tustin Unified School District.
Yeah. Oh, good. Sorry.
No.
And also, as we always have kind of like, as far as the schools go, it's obviously a very subjective thing. You know, like there's these rankings that come out. Like, you know, the two more popular sites are niche.com and greatschools.org. However, we always recommend, you know, for, you know, parents of prospective students that may be going to these schools, that, you know, you contact the, you know, the school administrative staff, or like talk to parents that have students going to those schools, that, you know, again, to make sure it's the right fit for you.
Yeah, so here you can see that the style of architecture is definitely a lot more traditional. And this neighborhood actually reminds me a lot of the neighborhoods in Irvine.
Yeah, it's really cute. Actually, I really like it a lot. Again, these aren't, so even though this is at least these are 2-story homes, so it's not like those super vertical brand new construction that's happening just down the street. What you do have though is that obviously if you're looking for land, Tustin actually, the city of, can offer you that. In fact, not that it's technically Tustin, but North Tustin even offers way more from that perspective. But you're not getting the new construction stuff, right? You're not getting those new neighborhoods. But here, you're not getting acres of acres of land. I mean, you're not getting even like 5 figures of, you know, like you're not getting 10,000 plus square feet of land. So it's one of those things where there's trade-offs, right? You want the newer neighborhoods.
Cybertruck.
Oh, no, nice. Little
Cybertruck sighting.
Yeah, more and more of them cropping up.
And actually, so I will link to the Tustin tour that we did, which did include North Tustin, even though North Tustin is technically a census district and it's not technically part of Tustin. We included it because it has the same name. So if you're interested...
Not technically related, but...
Yeah. But if you're interested, stay to the end and we will link to that and you can see that as well.
Yeah, and also, obviously, depending on what you're looking for, if you're looking for new construction, or if you're looking for something that's more land that offers you something a little bit different, you know, reach out to us, because obviously Orange County does have quite the variation of different communities and different offerings, and also it's one of those things that you kind of have to reset what your thinking is. I think that depending on where you're coming from, you know, wherever in the country you're coming from, a lot of people are wanting purely new construction, and you have to understand that as far as like Orange County is concerned, I would deem new construction as anything built the year 2000 in New York, which sounds insane that a 24-year-old property is somewhat new, but that's just like a lot of Orange County was built during the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and so what we deem as new construction is that. Now, also having said that, new construction does have its pitfalls. We already talked about the fact that it goes more vertical, you have a little bit less land, that kind of thing. Another thing that's a bit of a pitfall for people is the Mello-Roos. So Mello-Roos is this increased tax rate, right? So it's almost like basically a special assessment to fund, you know, new roads, schools, fire stations, all that kind of stuff. So that all comes at a cost, and that Mello-Roos rate can be rather significant, but it does vary depending on the development. So, you know, when you reach out to us, and if, you know, we're going over a property, we tell you not only, let's say if there's homeowners association dues, but also what's your Mello-Roos rate. So at least you know the full picture of what your costs are.
So we're heading over to Tustin Ranch, and Sean was talking about Mello-Roos. I'm not sure exactly how much was cut up, but or how much was cut off.
Yeah, so Mello-Roos rate obviously can vary. It can almost be, depending on what development you are, almost a doubling of your property tax. So that can be significant, but it does vary by development. So it could be just $1,000 a year extra. It could be 10 to 20 depending on what you're buying. So it can be all across the board. So it's one of those things to reach out to us so we can go over what your perspective, if it does have Mello-Roos, and if it does, how much would that be? And now we're going into actually kind of more the middle. So it's kind of like the Goldilocks zone, right? So we just saw the brand new stuff. Now we're going into kind of the stuff that was built in the 1990s. This is called Tustin Ranch. And so Tustin Ranch is actually cool. So one, And the houses were built again in the 1990s, but also you have like like this is the Tustin Auto Center. This is a huge car dealership area, and then also you have Tustin Marketplace, which is a pretty large mall in and of itself. So you have lots of shopping options and dining options here, and then of course we're going into actually Tustin Ranch also has a golf course, which is cool. And you have houses that, again, they were built in the 1990s. They have HOAs. It has a very Irvine feel to it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Irvine is literally just down the road.
Yeah,
so.
Very close.
Yeah.
Northwood is right there.
Yeah. Northwood basically shares the Tustin Marketplace. Don't they call the Irvine side the Irvine Marketplace?
Yeah, so Jamboree cuts off, Jamboree runs through this marketplace mall. So on one side is the Tustin Marketplace, on the other side is the Irvine Marketplace.
Yeah.
But yeah, tons of different stores. I mean, it's an outdoor mall. It's kind of more for driving. It's not a mall that you would actually go, I'm starting here. You park and you kind of have to drive to your various parking lots. It's just this huge strip mall, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
And of course, we are coming across again another Costco. So we have not one, but 2 Costcos.
Yeah, Tustin's one of the rare cities with 2 Costcos.
Especially for only 80,000 people, that's not bad. So Tustin and Laguna Niguel.
Just to give you a feel of what Tustin Ranch feels like.
Yeah, this is the whole different shade of beige kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
This is kind of this is when they went really crazy with these developments and that kind of thing. You have the stucco exterior, you have the tile roof. It's just that this is kind of the style, over time, obviously, they've updated it. The newer construction stuff, they kind of provide a different facade to kind of create a little bit more variety as far as the aesthetics. But this is built in an era where it was just beige all the way.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Yeah, you can definitely tell it was built in the 90s.
Again, and for me, it's funny. I actually like it. Because I'm actually, this is kind of my formative years as far as kind of okay, this is kind of what's normal. So this stuff doesn't, this is, again, for some people, they may hate it. But for me, I actually am I feel good. This is the warm and fuzzy feeling inside.
Well, there's lots of places in Orange County there's lots of places. I'm just thinking about Irvine, Aliso Viejo.
Oh, yeah, South Orange County.
Parts of Mission Viejo. I mean, so many.
Laguna Niguel.
Yeah, you're going to be getting similar look and feel. This just happens to be Tustin.
Which is nice because, again, you're not going so far south.
Yeah.
So for some people, I know that the whole remote work thing has changed the dynamics of all this stuff, but for people that still have to kind of go to an office sometimes, it is nice that Tustin is so conveniently located.
Yeah, Tustin, it's so nice and centrally located. Yeah, and then we'll go to the historic part of Tustin as well. So yeah, we're not going to go all over Tustin because that would just be too long and too boring. But we want to just show you, like we were saying in the beginning, that the different flavors that Tustin offers, because usually if you're going to be seeing this sort of master plan community in this city, then that's what the whole city is, right? I mean, I'm thinking of Aliso Viejo. It's kind of just all like this. Whereas Tustin, you can get this, or you can get super new, or you can get super old. So
you can get lots of land. You can get very little land. You have shopping options. You have also very wide roads. Again, this is, even though this the city isn't brand new, the thought that went into all these roads is really nice. So not only do you have freeway access, right? So you have the 5 freeway that's right here. You have the 55 freeway as well that borders parts of Tustin. 405 freeway it doesn't border it, but it's really close by. So you have it's very centrally located, but also on top of that, all these arteries, all these major roads, they run all throughout Tustin. I mean, so it's, again, to get to and from Tustin is really easy.
Yeah. I think that's one of the reasons people really like Tustin is the central location. And then also, it's right next to Irvine, and you're getting a lot of the same things that you get with Irvine, but the price is definitely, typically speaking, much lower. The median price of Tustin is much lower than the median price of Irvine.
Yeah, Tustin actually is pretty well priced. I mean, and again, you do have quite the variation in price too. Actually, Tustin can be almost cheap by Orange County standards to, again, not so much. So because obviously, like Tustin Legacy, like especially the single family homes there, they're not actually cheap at all. They're actually on the more expensive side.
Yeah.
But then again, there's condos and townhomes, and depending on when it was built and all that stuff, you have stuff that's very reasonably priced. And I don't want to actually put an exact dollar amount. I know we've gotten criticized for that. The problem is that depending on when you're watching this, if we give you a number, you're like, well, what happened to that thing? We're going, well, that went by a long time ago, because the market, at least to this point, has been very robust in not just Orange County, but the entire country.
Yeah. So far, the crash that people predicted
for the last
15 years has not happened.
Yes.
So yeah. So I guess we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
I'm not personally predicting a crash, but I guess we'll see.
And then actually, so this isn't technically Tustin Ranch, but you'll see actually this is like, now you're getting more into 1970s era, 60s.
Yeah.
So like a lot of, again, old school subdivision neighborhoods, like, like suburbia, and over time maybe they've added an additional story, they maybe done an extension, they've done enough things to kind of create a little bit of variation, right, to the properties themselves.
Yeah, this can almost have a Costa Mesa feel.
I was literally thinking Costa Mesa, for sure.
Definitely similar vibe to many neighborhoods in Costa Mesa. Similar to Costa Mesa, very centrally located.
Yes,
so,
exactly.
Yeah.
And of course, trash tags. That's our lot in life, is that we will hit neighborhoods that are doing the trash.
Yeah, seriously, it does not matter. Actually, so when we did Nellie Gale, it was literally a Sunday. I'm like, there's no way it'll be trash day. Oh, it was trash day. On a Sunday. I've never even heard of that before.
Yesterday we were doing a beach city one, and they were pushing out the trash, and it was on Sunday. Yeah. And they're pushing out like the trash cans. I'm like, really? Like, and you could hear the noise of them rolling it out. And you're like, on a Sunday, midday. You're like really getting prepared here. Yeah. So you have like these kind of neighborhoods all throughout Tustin. And
yeah,
it's kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely more mid-century vibe, I would say.
Yeah, and it's really strange for, again, a city of 80,000 people. So it's one thing if you're talking about Los Angeles, of course you're gonna have some new stuff, new developments with some old stuff. Tustin's pretty, like, not a very large geographic location, and also it's not a very large population, but you just have so much variety here.
Yeah, you do. It's a cute little city too. I think that's another reason people like it.
Yeah, and their downtown is really cool. Like, I actually like Old Town Tustin and their downtown area, because again, it's like, it's got a historic, part to it, for sure. For sure. Historic for Orange County. We're talking 1920 is historic for us. So. Very historic. Yeah, and so, I know we get like people watching from all over the world, and of course, like if you're in England going, 1920, really? Like, that's new.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they make fun of us, but whatever. The West Coast is particularly new, so yeah.
Yes, for sure.
So we're gonna be heading towards Old Town Tustin, which has some cute little restaurants and bars, and
actually some really nice restaurants. Actually, like the restaurant, the dining scene here is pretty awesome.
Yeah. So. Yeah, but Tustin, it's a cute little city. I feel like because it is smaller, people kind of forget about it. They don't really, it's not, one of the hyped cities like Irvine or Newport.
But again, actually, this is one of the cities that when someone inevitably does ask me about Irvine, depending on what feedback I'm getting, Tustin is one of those that I am suggesting as an alternative option, because I like to give you options, right? That the whole thing is that I don't want to say, okay, Irvine got it, and just Irvine or bust. It's more like, okay, great, Irvine will definitely keep that, in play, of course, but just to give you some extra options, because the Tustin, Aliso Viejo, Laguna Niguel, these are like, consistently cities that people go, oh, I like what this city has to offer. And also, let's be real, the price is also a bit more reasonable than Irvine. Irvine's really blown up in price over the years. Like, it is rather expensive. It's basically the third most expensive city in all of Orange County, which did not used to be the case.
So yeah, now we're in the historic district. So yeah, we're just showing you, it's cute. It's
Main Street,
older.
right?
Yeah, this is Main Street. So you can see some of these older historic buildings. I think the Historic Society is close to here. You've got, some older, super cute, and then when you start getting into the houses here, you just see that it's a totally different vibe. It kind of reminds me of Old Town Orange in a lot of ways.
Yeah, or Fullerton.
Or Fullerton, or parts of Santa Ana have this old town vibe as well. These wider streets, It's just, I guess you just go down anywhere, just, any neighborhood just to show you. Again, we're just showing you the different vibes. I know, some people, they just love Old Town Tustin. It's super cute. If you're from San Diego, like me, and that's one thing that I think that Orange County sort of lacks compared to San Diego. It's not as old and charming, and you like those cute little neighborhoods. So Orange County does offer that. It's just more known for the master plan community. So if you're wanting something that's, older and cuter, this could be an option for you.
Yeah, obviously, with any old home, they have a whole set of issues as well, where you definitely want that look at that home inspection report really thoroughly, because
you just go there.
Again, we're not in a Orange, California is really not, we aren't built out of stone and brick, right? We're built out of wood, because the reality of we're an earthquake country. So, but with wood comes termites and all that other stuff. And so it's just one of those things where, again, the property could be in fantastic shape. It's just one of those things that you just got to be aware of what you're looking at. How's that HVAC system? Did it even have HVAC system when it was first built? So it's all, there's so much variation to this stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
And remember, we are licensed realtors here in the state of California. So as much as we love making these videos, what we love more is to help you with your real estate needs. So whether looking to buy or sell a home, what you do is you give us a call or shoot us a text.
Yes, that number is a cell phone, so you can call us or text us, or you can use WhatsApp if you're outside the country.